Your presence here ruins the atmosphere of the venue. Could you please leave? He sneered. Though he was technically my brother-in-law's father, his words cut deep. I had traveled a long way to celebrate my sister's wedding, only to find out I was an uninvited guest to the groom's family. What's the matter? Hurry up and leave. Just having someone like you here ruins the wedding, he spat. Understanding I wasn't welcome, I nodded. Understood. I'll take my leave. I stepped outside and called my husband. What's going on? Why are you here? He asked, concern in his voice. I was told to leave, so I did, I answered honestly. There was nothing else to say. What does this mean? He muttered darkly, turning his gaze toward the groom's family. They stared back, unrepentant. My name is Lisa, and I'm 32 years old. I live with my husband, who is 11 years older than me. The only family I have left are him and my younger sister, Summer, who is 10 years younger. Our father left when I was 10, leaving us in a single-parent household. Summer had just been born, and our mother worked tirelessly to raise us. She juggled jobs from morning till night, and I stepped in to take care of my sister. Despite the hardship, I never complained. We managed until I graduated high school, but years of overwork caught up with my mother, and she passed away. With no extended family to rely on, Summer and I were left to fend for ourselves. What's going to happen to us now, sis? Summer asked, her young face full of fear. Don't worry, I'll manage somehow, I reassured her, though I had no plan. I found a job as a clerk at a small company. The pay wasn't great, but they were willing to hire a high school graduate. It was a small workplace, so I quickly found myself handling a variety of tasks. At first, it was simple clerical work, but my responsibilities grew over time. The boss, however, was kind and supportive. Lisa, would you like to earn a qualification? He asked one day. A qualification? Yes, it's a bit specialized, but we need someone qualified. And you're young, it shouldn't be too hard for you to study, he explained. Would this be outside of working hours? Don't worry, we'll cover the exam fees and textbook costs. Please, I'm asking as a favor. The boss's earnest demeanor made it hard to refuse. Besides, earning a qualification could open more doors for me in the future. I thought of Summer, her needs would only grow as she advanced through middle and high school. Understood, I agreed. Don't push yourself too hard, sis, Summer would sometimes say, her voice filled with concern. Don't worry about me. When you graduate high school, you can do whatever you want, I told her. As she entered high school, Summer began considering working right after graduation, but I didn't want her to struggle the way I had, so I convinced her to aim for college. There was one problem: my salary made saving for tuition difficult. I began thinking about changing jobs. When I confided in my boss, I expected disappointment, but he was surprisingly understanding. I completely understand, he said. Actually, I know someone starting a new company. They're looking for someone to handle clerical work. A new company? Yes, and don't worry, it's run by someone very capable. Their business is already doing well, and they're looking for talented employees. The boss assured me the new company's work would be similar to what I was already doing. It sounded ideal, though leaving felt bittersweet. I've been thinking of closing this company soon anyway, my boss admitted. Most of us here are nearing retirement, and it's getting harder to keep up, so don't worry about leaving, you've done more than enough. After 5 years with the company, hearing his kind words brought tears to my eyes. Don't cry, he said gently. If I make a young girl cry, my wife will scold me. It's better when you smile. With his blessing, I joined the new company. Nice to meet you, I'm Mike. My new boss introduced himself. He was 38, with an air of professionalism that was hard to miss. Nice to meet you, I'm Lisa, I replied. We really needed someone with your qualifications. You've been a great help already, Mike said warmly. If you could handle things at your previous company, I'm confident you'll excel here. Thank you very much, I said, feeling both nervous and excited for what lay ahead. I was nervous, but I think I handled it well. Before I knew it, Mike's company had become my new workplace. It was a startup, aggressively expanding, and Mike was at the center of it all. Though it was a new company, it seemed well-backed, with many big projects already on the table. I'm really grateful to have you here, Lisa, Mike said one day. Your office skills are specialized, and it helps that you have such a strong background. I'm glad I invested in your training. His words made me happy, and as time went on, I could see the company growing. Mike appreciated my work, And I no longer worried about my sister's tuition or our daily expenses. You seem so lively these days, my sister commented one morning. Really? Before, you always seemed overwhelmed by work, but now you seem to enjoy it. Maybe it's because of someone, I teased. Mike? She asked, joking. Don't be silly, I laughed. Go get ready for school. 4 years later, I was 27, and my sister was about to graduate high school. She was doing well in school and aiming for her preferred university, barring any health issues. She was expected to pass. Meanwhile, Mike's company was flourishing, taking on larger projects, and Mike was a brilliant leader, always bringing in new work and building partnerships. The number of employees quickly increased, and before I knew it, I was training new hires. How about a trip sometime? Mike suggested. A trip? But my schedule. I anticipated that. I'll make sure to wrap things up early. Leave it to me. Thank you, but that feels like a luxury. Mike insisted. Let's relax a bit. You've earned it. As part of the founding team, I spent a lot of time with Mike. Naturally, our relationship grew romantic. Despite the 11-year age difference, it didn't matter to me, but there was one thing on my mind. Could we wait to get married? One late night, just the two of us in the office, I decided to share my feelings. Mike, it's not that I don't want to marry you. You're a wonderful man, and I do want to marry you, but I have my sister. She's much younger than me, and until she's independent, I can't leave her. Could we wait until she graduates? I feared it was a selfish request. Mike, already in his mid-30s, was likely thinking seriously about marriage. I wasn't sure if it was too much to ask. Of course, I'll wait until she graduates, Mike said, without hesitation, but in return, let's have dinner with your sister. After all, she'll be family. I was touched by his understanding. His assertiveness was part of what made him such a successful entrepreneur. So, the three of us began spending more time together. As Mike's company stabilized and my sister neared the end of her high school years, we all decided to go on a trip together. It was a wonderful experience, one we wished could last forever. But eventually, the trip ended. My sister went off to college, and Mike and I returned to work. Since the university was nearby, my sister still lived with me, but I knew we'd see less of each other. Around that time, she told me she wanted to get a part-time job. Sure, everyone starts with no experience, I said, though I was still a little worried. I'll be fine, she reassured me. I've been learning about business management from Mike. I'm ready. Her optimism surprised me. She was so much more mature than I had expected. She had always been like that, and her positivity had helped me through tough times. Then, one day, she surprised me even more. Sis, guess what? She said, her eyes sparkling. What is it? I'm getting married after college. I was stunned. Married? Sorry, what? She continued nonchalantly. I'm serious about marrying after graduation. Who's the guy? You don't know him. Or maybe you do. Don't mess with me, I said, half in disbelief. In the summer of her junior year, she announced her plans to get married. I was completely shocked, though she often said surprising things. I hadn't expected her to go this far. The word marriage was sensitive for me, especially considering my thoughts about Mike and me. Remember the business seminar? She asked. I clicked with a guy there. He's planning to start his own company, and he's a good guy, so I thought, why not marry him? Marriage isn't something to take lightly, I said, my voice rising. It's a big commitment, a lifetime decision. I almost expressed my bitterness about our parents, but held it back. My sister gave me a direct look. Don't you want to respond to Mike's feelings? She asked. But I promised to look after you until I graduate. You think I can't manage without you? I've got my life planned, and I've met a good guy. You need to think about your own happiness. Tears welled up in her eyes. She was no longer the little girl I had cared for. Unless you get married first, it's awkward for me, she said. I guess so, I replied softly. Mike and I ended up getting married, and everyone at the company celebrated. Even my first boss came to offer his congratulations. But I still had one more task, meeting my sister's fiancé's family. Brian, her fiancé, seemed like a great guy. He was the eldest son of a small business owner. The business is going to my brother, though, Brian explained. Really? I asked, curious. I always wanted to start my own business, he said, and I liked the idea of working with our family business, so we decided to start our own company together. That's how we met, he added, smiling. Pretty cool, right? We've already incorporated, even as students. Student entrepreneurship isn't that uncommon these days. I was an employee myself, so I couldn't fully follow their discussions, but Brian's family seemed like good people, and I felt he was compatible with my sister. I didn't worry about their future. It was Mike who had introduced Summer to Brian, and he had played a key role in connecting them. I was grateful to him. Our first meeting ended on a warm note, but I still had to meet the rest of Brian's family. It was a natural step, now that we were becoming relatives, but the business owners made me nervous. Strangely, they asked me to come alone. Lisa, yes? I believe you're here to discuss your sister's marriage to Brian. That's correct, I replied, trying to remain composed. That's not why we called you. My father-in-law's voice was sharp. We're here to ask you not to get involved. I was taken aback. What do you mean? You never went to college, you lost your parents, and while Summer seems capable, you certainly don't. Don't expect any help from us. I have no intention of relying on you. I shot back. I've worked hard all my life, supported myself, and planned for my future with Mike. Whether I retire later or not is none of your concern. Words are cheap, my father-in-law sneered. There are many unreliable people out there. We'll invite you to the wedding out of courtesy, but afterward, stay away. The people attending will be far above your station. It would be embarrassing for you to show up. Their laughter echoed with scorn, and I couldn't bear it any longer. When my sister gets married, she'll have a proper family with Brian. Let's hope she doesn't end up like you, they added cruelly. Tears welled in my eyes, but I held my head high as I excused myself. I won't miss my sister's special day, I said firmly, though my voice trembled. As soon as I was outside, I half ran home, tears streaming uncontrollably. No matter how much I washed my face, the pain lingered. Looking at my red, swollen eyes in the mirror, I whispered to myself, I'll never let them see me like this again. The insults didn't just hurt me, they felt like an attack on everyone who had supported me throughout my life. But no matter what, I resolved to attend my sister's wedding. Watching her get married felt like a final act of letting go, a passing of the torch. Time flew by, and soon, her college graduation and wedding day arrived. You'd better come to my wedding, sis, my sister teased. I've planned an amazing day. I wouldn't miss it for the world, I replied with a smile, hiding my unease about seeing Brian's family again. The venue was extravagant, and the guests exuded wealth and prestige, dressed in formal wear. I felt overwhelmed but kept my composure as I showed my invitation to the usher. He guided me to a private room. As soon as the door opened, mocking voices greeted me. So, you actually came. You really don't understand social cues, do you? Standing before me were Brian's father, mother, and younger brother Dustin, all dressed in high-end suits and designer attire. Why are you here? Dustin sneered. Do you not realize how far beneath us you are? Having someone like you here lowers the venue's prestige. You weren't really meant to show up, his father added. Even though we invited you, we expected you to know better. Get the guards to remove her, Dustin said dismissively. The flood of insults continued, cutting deep. I endured them silently until they crossed the line. What if Summer ends up like you? Dustin spat. She won't, I snapped, my voice shaking. Summer is hardworking and smart. Besides, she and Brian are starting their own business together. Ridiculous. Brian will take over our company, not start some side project, his father scoffed. That's not what they said, I countered. They've already incorporated their own company. Their faces twisted in disbelief. Before they could hurl more accusations, the door opened. Sorry I'm late. Mike's voice filled the room. The family's demeanor shifted instantly. Mike, it's been too long. They greeted him warmly, falling over themselves to show respect. Mike ignored their pleasantries. Have you seen my wife? Your wife, they echoed, shocked. Oh, there she is, Mike said, spotting me in the corner. Why are you standing there? They told me to leave, I said softly. Mike's expression darkened. Why would you tell my wife to leave? She's also the bride's sister. The room fell silent, their faces pale. We didn't know, the father stammered. Explain what happened, Mike demanded. I recounted everything truthfully. So, you insulted my wife and tried to humiliate her? Mike's voice was icy. Insulting her is the same as insulting me. Is that how you treat family? We didn't mean to insult her, they stuttered, visibly sweating. Then what did you mean? Mike's piercing gaze made them shrink. After a long pause, he continued, I do business with your company, but we're not family. Brian is my friend, but that doesn't mean I'll tolerate disrespect toward my wife. Effective immediately, I'll be ending our business relationship. Wait, that will ruin us, Brian's father cried. Please reconsider. I won't. Don't worry, though, I'll work with Brian and Summer's new company instead. They've earned my trust. The family looked stunned, realizing they had lost both their son's loyalty and a critical business partner. Mike turned to me. "Let's go," he said, leading me out of the room. The wedding proceeded without further drama. Brian and Summer began their new life together, moving into a new home as they focused on growing their business. Meanwhile, the in-laws faced the consequences of their actions, their company struggling without Mike's support. As for us, life brought a new chapter. I gently patted my belly one evening, excitement and nervousness filling me. When Mike returned home, I greeted him with his favorite stew and a big smile. "I have news," I said, placing his hand on my stomach. His eyes lit up. "Really? That's amazing." He hugged me gently. With a baby on the way, our family was growing, and though our responsibilities would increase, I knew we could handle it. Together, we would build a happy home filled with love and hope for the future.